Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing the TJMOTO hard ABS black saddlebags available on Amazon.com. You can always find TJMOTO products on Amazon.com by simply searching TJMOTO to see all of their products, or if you'd like to find this specific product, type in TJMOTO saddlebag. It'll get you where you need to go. Now today we're going to be looking at this kit, which is available currently for around $289. That includes the saddlebags, the lids, the hardware, and black saddlebag supports. If you don't wish to receive the whole kit, you can purchase just the bags alone. You can buy the hardware alone, or you can buy the bags and the hardware as a kit as well. As some of you already know, I currently have a Road King with the leather bags, and I've got chrome saddlebag supports. So we're going to be taking and stripping all that off and replacing it with this kit here, and I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment below, and hopefully this video will do you some good. You can like it, and maybe even share it. Alright, so obviously the first thing we're going to do is unpack everything. Put something down on the ground. Here's what I did to make sure it's not going to get scratched up. Just make sure you find some place where things will be safe. And then we've also got the packing list here for the hardware, so that way we can go through and make sure that everything's here before we get started. Alright, so the first thing I've done is chose a saddlebag. On this particular job, I've chose the right side saddlebag, or what some people may refer to as the passenger side. And what I've done is made sure that I matched up the lid with the bag, and then I'm going to start the assembly. Okay, I'm going to start easy with the grommets, and you're going to put this side towards the inside. It's a tight hole, so you might want to use a little bit of dish soap or Windex to kind of lubricate it. You got one here, and you got one there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, these things are extremely tight, so I've sprayed this down with some window cleaner, and then I've been very carefully using a flathead screwdriver to come up and push that part through, and then basically as you get it, I've kind of been taking my palm and putting some pressure, twisting a little bit, and continuing putting the pressure with the screwdriver very carefully, making sure not to scratch anything. Alright, as you can see here, I've got the hardware separated out, and the next thing that we're going to do is put on these back latches. Based on what I can see, it looks like we're going to be using these screws to assemble that. We have these that are a little bit shorter, and then we've got these that are extremely long compared to these. We've only got 4 of those, so if something's different, I'll let you know as we go. But we're going to use our washers and these bolts. And they are Allen head, by the way. Okay, so we're going to attach that like so. Alright. On the outside, bolts coming from the inside going through, and it is a 2.5 millimeter Allen head. And we're going to do that to this side and that one. Alright, I've got this one put together. I took the liberty of going all the way through because this is the first time I've actually assembled one of these from start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and backtrack a little bit and show you how we get to this point, and I'm going to do it with the left side saddlebag. Alright, so let's go ahead and find your latch cover, your latch, lock, and key. Alright, flip your latch cover over. Put in your latch. Put in the lock. Now on this, you can see this will turn this way, from this way to this way. So when we put it in here, unlocked, and then it will turn until this flat part hits here, and it will be over here, causing it to be locked into place. Don't forget, you can always screw it in and then check it with the key to make sure it's right before you finish. Okay, we put the smaller of the screws in there to hold that into place. Then we're going to grab our pieces of plastic here. We're going to push these into place with the angles coming towards the inward section. Okay. Alright, next we got 2 screws here, and I used the medium length of the screws for these. Okay, now we're going to attach this to the lid. So we're going to put it with the hinge side down. We're going to take and match it up with the holes of the lid. And then we're going to put this on the bottom side of the screws, and it is threaded, so it acts as the nut as well. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. We have the backing plate that has the tapped holes in it. Be careful when you put these in, they are easy to strip out. That's probably why the kit came with a couple extra of these screws. Alright, now it's going to be time to attach the lid to the bag. So what we're going to do is set the lid on top. Okay, open this up, and you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts welded into place. You got 4 holes back here. What you want to do is put this to where it lines up inside. You're going to come through, you're going to open the lid, and what you need to do is put these middle 2 screws in. Just the middle 2. Okay, this is the part where I said I needed my daughter's help to get through it. So what we're going to do, we're going to get these middle 2 screws, and they're going to be the middle length screws as well, with a washer. Okay, you got your hardware through here, and then your fabric hinge is going to connect right here to these next 2. Alright, so when we do these last 2 screws, when we put this hinge on, we want to use the longer screws for that, because we got to go through the fabric and through the piece of metal that's in here as well. Then, once we go from there, we're going to attach the top part to the lid. And I'm going to be honest with you, the hardware that they sent did not include screws that would fit in my holes without popping right back out, so I had to find a couple out of my own hardware. This is what I came up with. I've already installed them on the other bag. They seem to work just fine. So if your hardware doesn't include something that's going to screw into here and feel like it's going to hold, you may need to go to the hardware store and spend 25 cents or so and find yourself a couple screws. You want to be careful. This one here is pretty short, so you don't want to get anything that's going to be too long that might poke through the top of your lid. Okay, I just finished putting these brackets on the left side bag. When I got done, I noticed I was actually short a couple of screws to hold these in place. The ones that I had left over were a little bit too short. I think where I messed up was when I actually did the lock mechanism. When I actually bolted this in, I think I could have used the shorter bolts on that, or could have possibly been with these up here. So when you put yours together, just assemble it and see if you can use a shorter bolt than the one that you just used. If so, go ahead and use them. If not, then you know you got the right one. Worst case scenario, you'll have to do like I did, and once again, use a couple bolts out of your own hardware or buy a couple at the hardware store. Alright, now we're going to put these into place. Okay, so we peeled the adhesive backing, we put them in place, drilled a couple small pilot holes, and then put the flat-headed screws into place, as so. We have our grommets in the back. Now we're about to insert our rubber stabilizers on the bottom. Alright, there's going to be 2 of these on each bag. One of them's going to go here. One of them's going to go here. All we're going to do is put a little Windex on here, push it through the bottom. If it doesn't feel like it goes all the way through, we're going to grab it with our pair of pliers and pull it through from the inside. And now it's time that we've got the assembly finished to go ahead and put the weather stripping on. Alright, well, to be honest with you, I was expecting this to be a self-adhesive or a clip into place weather stripping, and it's not, so I'm going to have to look into this and get back to this part. But as far as everything else goes, the assembly is done. Now, I have not switched out the chrome bars yet. That's going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to have to take off my bag, my cover, and undo the bolt there, there, and there, there, and there. So that won't be difficult at all. So next, we're going to go ahead and take those bags off, and we're going to do a test fit and see how these look. Alright, this kit does come with the mounting hardware for these bags. I was assuming I wouldn't need that since I was coming from Harley bags to Harley bags, but I will need to actually adjust my hardware some, but I do have it sitting in place. It's just not fully attached at the moment. Like I said, I'm going to have to make some minor adjustments on where my hardware actually lines up. But there we go. Hope this video was helpful and informative. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment. Keep in mind you can always find TJMOTO products on Amazon.com. Have a great day.